Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be building a drone mesh SplitSane frame. Now this is a 3-inch micro quadcopter that takes 11XX motors. Now what do I mean by 11XX motors? I mean 1106, 1103, 1104, and all those kind of crazy good stuff. So this is a 3-inch micro, but I like to fly with 2.5-inch props. And it's just an insane beast because 6000 kV, 3 inch is a bit too much, and 6000 kV with 2.5 inch and on the 3S LiPo is just insanely beautiful and efficient. And I'm doing more testing. So this quad here, this frame, this is my design. If you would like one, there's only limited quantity left before I make the new 5-inch version. I'm not going to be making any more of these unless you needed a spare if you already purchased one. So yeah, if you wanted to get one, go ahead and grab one right now. I'll put them on sale for you guys. I just have like maybe 7 or 8 left, I think. I don't even remember. Anyways, but yeah, so we're going to be building this today. And it's going to be our motor testing quad because I also got some crazy ass motors. They're 1108 from RCN Power. They're crazy. They're like huge, like that big. So those will be tested on this. This is going to be our motor testing quad if the stack is good. So what are we doing today? We're going to be building the drone mesh SplitSane, and it's also going to be the testing of the Hakrc F3 combo. This is a little bit different than the HGLRC. Well, it's kind of the same, but it's, you know, Hakcrc is a little hit and miss sometimes. So it comes with a BL Heli S. It's a 20 amp ESC. It's a 20 by 20 ESC, as you can tell right there. And it takes 2 to 4S LiPo. So that's going to be pretty damn good right here. I'm just letting the camera focus. So this is going to be pretty good as well. For VTX, what I'm planning on using is the HGLRC VTX. This is that comes with the stack. I didn't use it on my previous build here, but I kept it off on the side, and we're going to be using it on this build with this here. And for camera, like I said, Quadcopter is the fastest camera I've ever tested. And let's get started. So first thing you want to do is make sure you get the orientation correctly. Now, if you take a look at the pre-built one right here, the bottom plate, the arms are in front. You could do it however you want, but this is I found this to work best here. So what we're gonna do is, so this is gonna be the front now. This is here the front because this is the bottom. And let's just zoom in here. Okay. All right. So this is the front here. So we need to figure out the ESC's orientation, if we do have the correct orientation or not. So let's go ahead and prepare the ESC and then see how we're going to set this up. All right, guys, so first things first, we're going to just install obviously our standoffs, and this is going to be the front. The bottom plate, the arms are in the front, so that is the front currently. So we need to take a look at our ESC here, and we can already see A1, there's C2, there's C3, and then there's A4. So I'm guessing this is motor 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that's perfect. And the battery's in the back, and here's the connector that's going to connect to our flight controller. It's not via pins like the HGLRC, but that's totally fine. So this is going to be inserted like this, since that's going to be the front now. So let's go ahead and set that up. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare the soldering iron. We're going to go ahead and start preparing the pads here, and then we'll start installing the motors. We'll first start with the 2 front motors, and then we'll do the back towards the end. I'll show you how to do that, because it can be a little bit tricky, and there's a little way to do it that I figured out from previous building. So let's go ahead and let me prepare everything, and then I'll be right back when we start soldering this guy up together. Alright guys, so the soldering iron is ready, and we're going to be using the portable TS100 soldering iron here today. I really wanted to just do a little build with it, plus it has a very nice small tip, so it should make everything a little bit easier for us. So first we're just going to go ahead and just get started with the pads here. We're just going to prepare the ESC pads for the motors, and then we'll take it from there. So currently the thingy is very far away from me, and I could barely see anything. Alright, perfect, beautiful. Now we're going to do, this is where we're going to be connecting our battery right here. Usually with these types of ESCs, we don't really need any filtration. Plus this one looks pretty good. We got some filtration here, and we have a tantalum capacitor right there. So in theory, that should be pretty darn good. And it's a small motor. We shouldn't have any issues. Alright, there we go. So we got that all done with. Let's go ahead and start installing our battery wires here. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. So where's the front? We said, hold on, now I'm confused again. So this is, yeah, this is the front. This will be the back now. Okay. So let's go ahead and install the power. And where's ground? Ground is, that's positive. Yeah, that one's positive. Top one's positive. And the bottom one is the ground. So let's go ahead and set that up. Okay. So on the HGLRC stack, these pads were always very fragile, and I really hated them because I ruined 2 ESCs because of how fragile they were. And this thing is conducting heat like crazy now. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it here. I love that crunching sound. Beautiful. Alright, so that's all good. There we go. Now we have our power for our ESCs. The only thing left to do is now let's just go ahead and install it. So we said this is the front here, and this is going to be the back. We're gonna go ahead and install it like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, correct. Alright. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the motors on in place here and put standoffs, and then we'll take it from there. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and installed the motors, and don't forget, this is the front. This is the front. It's very important that you do remember that. Now I've added, what I've done is I've twisted the wires. I've never seen it to affect any of my quads. All of them are twisted, and everything is fine. At least on smaller ones, and some larger 3-inch ones. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to do one motor together from the front, and then we'll do the backside in a bit. So right now I'm just going to do one motor with you guys, so we can see how we can set this up. So currently I just want to get, you know, the perfect length here. I don't want to have too many wires, and I don't want it to be too short, because I also want it to be a little bit easy if I do run into any problems and would like to run some maintenance in the field. So alright, so yeah, I just couldn't find my cutters for some reason. Alright, so what I love about silicone wires is that they're just so awesome, really. That's it. That's all you need to do to strip it. Just use your nails. I don't even have any nails, just some pressure. So let's go ahead and add some solder to the wire first, which is very important. Make sure the tip is has solder and been cleaned off first. Alright, so we're gonna add solder to this guy. Nice. And now my tweezers have disappeared again. Oh no, there they are. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the first one here. Okay. So it's very difficult. I have a microphone, camera, and a stand in my face. Alright, there we go. We got our first wire in. Let's see. Yes, it's very nice. Very good. Okay, let's see the other one. And we'll do one more wire here, and then we'll just skip over the rest so we can just have it be as quick as possible here. And we get to the most important part, which is the back arms. So let's just go ahead and cut this guy. Alright. And I'm gonna... There we go. I'm just gonna add a little solder here. Or solder, whatever. And some people complain too much. They just can't live without complaining. I hate that. Alright, so let's set this guy up here. And I'll skip over the rest of the front motors so we can go back and see how we're going to connect the flight controller and all that stuff. Alright guys, so now we're basically done with the front motors. They're installed, very nice. I still haven't heat shrunk it. And this is the complicated part here. Now you see how the motors are going to be up top here. And this is going to go on like so. So if we take a look like this, let's just see. Like that, that's how it's supposed to be. Now, what I recommend doing is you obviously put these through the hole. You put your motor wires through the hole. Most motors should reach just fine. Since we are using only 20mm standoffs, and that is one reason, and it flies better than 25mm. That's why it has such tight space inside. So as you can tell, we're going to have to install the motor wires like this. Don't cut them too short. You're going to want to flip this over and then start your soldering like this. And then you'll be able to flip it back and then just put it in together in theory. So some motors might come with shorter wires, and if they do, once you cut from the front ones here, try to keep them so you can extend them if you needed to. Some people might have to extend the motor wires, some might not. So let's just see. We might have to, and we might not have to also. So let's go ahead and just get a little heat shrink here just to keep it nice and tidy, unlike my prototype over there. I think about just remove a little bit of this here. There we go. Oh, that wasn't clean. There we go. And there we go. I think about this much is going to be good here. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this guy through. So let's just see. Yeah, that's perfect right there. And we're going to drop it in. Drop the wires right in. There we go. So it should keep it overall clean. I'll just flip this over because of the writing. I really don't like this new heat shrink with the writing on it. It really kills it for me. I wish I had red or purple so I can go with the standoffs, but I don't. And yeah, but it's alright. Who cares? Yellow, it's going to be easier to find this way too. Oh my god, I've lost a couple quads so far. So let's go ahead and set this up. Okay, I want to push it on top of the already, because it already has heat shrink coming out for the wires from the motor, from the stator. Okay, so what you want to do now is we want to avoid these holes here because these will be into the standoff. It's going to be, wow, so difficult to see. This one and that one right there. We want to avoid those. These are for us right here. And let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. So you want to do is you want to bring them apart together like this. And then just make sure you solder the correct side into place. If you want, you could remove the standoffs. It'll make your life a little bit easier. But just be very careful because these are very fragile. Now we want to just make sure that this is gonna be perfect. Yeah, everything's gonna reach perfect. So what you want to do, let's start with one at a time. Let's remove this one so we don't get confused here, and we'll start with this one. So what I'm gonna do is put them close to each other like this, because when it's flipped over, it's gonna be like this. So let's go ahead and get started. At least we don't have to cut wires anymore. Now we just solder them in, and in theory we should be good to go. And I think it's best if we do remove the standoff. So let's remove just one standoff here so we can get more maneuverability and be able to solder a little bit better here. So right there, and let's start with this guy here. Which one should we do? Which one has the longest reach here? This one has the longest reach. Let's start with this guy. So we're gonna go ahead and set you up. It's very far away. It's very difficult for me to see. I need to tin the tip here a little bit. Okay, there we go. I'm not used to soldering with the TS100, but it's doing a great job. I have it set on maximum. Alright, let's just take a look here. This is how we should have done it. Okay, let's do the next one. You guys could see way better than me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. Okay, I'm gonna go over this in a little bit. Alright, so there you have basically one in, and we're gonna do the same thing to that side also. We'll remove the standoff and do the same routing here. But let's just finish up here. Okay, I just need to see what I'm doing. Alright. There we go. Okay. Alright, those should be good. That side's done. Let's flip this guy over. You see how I just flipped it over and everything is fine? That's how it's done. So we can just do this and you're good to go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to prepare the other side. We're going to put these guys through. And be very gentle. Don't be, don't be super rough and with it, and it'll hold just fine. So there we go. And now make sure you don't have your props on while you're doing this, because it'll be very difficult. All right, so there we go. We should remove the standoff also here. On the Emax motors, I had to extend the wires, which was a bit of a pain, kind of. But it's nothing bad. I mean, it's all right. It's not that difficult. So there we go. We have this one. I'm gonna flip it this way this time. It's easier for me, and I think it's better for all of us. So there we go. We have our wires all out here, and we can push as far as we want, and we're totally fine here. So there we go. Start with the first wire. Should have cleaned the tip. It's fine. Let's just push this guy a little bit this way. I feel like I'm doing surgery here. Okay, there we go. It's better to start with the the closest, and then move your way to the farthest, and then you're done, as you could tell. Oh shit, that whole thing wasn't even on video. So yeah, it's easier to start with the closest. Alright, so there we go. So now they're in, and if we take a look here, once we flip this guy over, we'll just install the standoffs, and we have our quad. So now we could just have it resting like so, and we could install our other components. You could also set up the ESC a little bit higher and put the flight controller below the ESC. That also works. So let me go ahead and install the flight controller now. Alright guys, so I think that's it. That's going to conclude it for this video. We're going to do part 2 tomorrow, or after tomorrow. I think after tomorrow, because I want to do some ESC testing and I want to start cutting out the new testing equipment. So this is part 1. This is the hardest part here. This should have helped most people out because of how to install the motors and how to do the orientation. And then part 2 will be completing this. It's gonna be a bit long. That's why I wanted to split this up, because this is it's pretty annoying. Unlike the HGLRC, it's just you just stick it together, you're good to go. Here you have wires and extra wires, and it's gonna be very long and a painful process with this. Especially on a build like this. That's why I really recommend the HGLRC stack, because it's just so clean. I mean, it's like it was made for this, like insanely beautiful. And the ESC orientation is beautiful because it's on the pads are on the back and the front, so you don't have anything on the sides. So it just kept it overall awesome. This one's gonna need a little bit more work, this flight controller, because everything is with wires and connectors, so it's gonna be very time consuming. So we're gonna leave it for part 2. And yeah, if you're curious about this flight controller, and if you're curious about some awesome crazy deals, currently I'm working with Holly Bro. I talked with Holly Bro. We brought some Tico ESCs. I'm working with Flycolor, Cadix also. I'm bringing some Cadix on my website for absolute cheap. It's been insane. They've given us good prices. We put them up, and you could just, it's just deals every now and then will pop up, and I sell some of my stuff here and there. So and make sure you check out that secret access, because you can get some awesome crazy stuff for super cheap also. So you can go ahead and check out the frame. There's only a couple left, and this is the build video for it. If anyone is curious and anyone is still watching, for the people that bought it, we'll finish it up in part 2, and I'll also be building another one with an HGLRC stack to show you the difference and how easy it is. But this might be my motor testing quad, depending on how easy for me to remove and add motors on. because I do have more motors here. And that's going to conclude it for this video, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. See you guys. Take care.